Hi guys, welcome to Buddy's Talk. This is Divya here, and we also have Bhavna and Shweta along. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
So today I have come up with a great topic, something that might be interesting to all the women out there, and it's about menstrual cycle. Firstly, tell me, how do you guys find this topic?
It's quite interesting, quite informative, I believe, if we talk sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is a good topic to talk about because not many people talk about this topic. And yeah, I think that's where talking becomes important so that we create awareness, we make it very normal. That's how I see. Let's
Exactly.
Yeah,
get started. Yeah.
I think this is a topic that is relevant to all the women of all ages, right? Right. I mean, right from puberty to the people who are aged.
Menopause,
It's
yeah.
it's it's
Right.
always been. It's sometimes it's a challenge, known as a challenge. It's considered as a challenge. Sometimes it's a pain, and sometimes people don't have enough information to get through the phase. So I thought we three of us have different experiences to share. So I thought this will be a great topic to discuss and share our thoughts and information about. Um, Starting with you, Shweta, I want to know how has the cycle been for you, like the menstrual phase, and what are the things that you prefer, and what do you think best works for you?
Okay. I think touch wood, I would say, I've heard cases where no girls say they have a lot of cramps, they have a lot of pain and many other issues related or mood swings related to their menstrual duration or during their periods. But I think luckily for me, I didn't have any of these problems right from start. And I hope, fingers crossed, I hope it continues. So I never really felt it was a painful exercise, because I hear it from many of my friends, and they really feel, oh, it's a big task, that happens every month to them. So that's where I think firstly we should have the right mindset, I would say, because then that makes things easy. um, and I think coming back to just what do I do during my periods, I think, I like I said, I just treat those days as normal days, so I never really felt it was like those 5 days of my month where I need to do things differently or I need to act differently. And I think with the when I started menstruating, I think that's where pads were not very common in India, at least. And when I started off using cloth based napkins, which my mother used to help create. And it used to be not so uh, good feeling, I would say, at that point in time. But I think slowly, as the world evolved and then the sanitary pads became very normal, I started using those. And I think that's where I really don't feel anything bad about it anymore. And I think it's become very normal, and I prefer using sanitary pads because I think that really is very convenient to use. And I've been using only sanitary pads all through, so I think I prefer using that. I think there are advantages of it. You can just change it. It's very convenient to use as well as throw from that standpoint. But I think some of the disadvantages of it could be sometimes it leaks, it becomes a bit inconvenient while sleeping, and so on. But I think uh, manufacturers have realized that, and they have come up with a lot of variety in pads as well, with pads of different sizes, and they call it like day pads, night pads, and so on. So I think manufacturers are trying to understand the needs of women and trying to create products that really cater to their requirements. So I think that's the good part from what I think. And lastly, I would say the normal sanitary pads, which uses plastic, are not degradable. So that's definitely a disadvantage of it. But there are a lot of varieties coming in with cotton pads as well as cloth pads as well as biodegradable versions of these sanitary pads. So that's really good, and hope that we can become more eco-friendly in near future. While I've not tried these variants which I was talking about, but I'm definitely going to try to become more eco-friendly and yeah, experiment how that works. But with that, I would just want to know, Bhavna, what do you use? And what has been your experiences when you started getting your periods first, and uh, anything that you want to share? Yeah.
Shweta, I have been extensively using sanitary pads. So the first time I got my periods when I was like on the age of 12 or so, I remember using the sanitary pads only. And as you have an experience of using cloths and all, I don't think I have that kind of an experience. But yes, sanitary pads has never given me any issues as such, but except for when I want to do activities like swimming or other activities, so during those times was when I started using, when I wanted to go for swimming and all. We recently, maybe a couple of years back, that is when I started using tampons. And I think that is a very good alternative to sanitary pads.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tampons are not, I won't say that it is very easy to use initially, or getting used to it is like really easy. I will never say that. But once you get used to it, I think there is no looking back, especially when you're traveling, or if you're doing some kind of a strenuous activity. Now, uh, I can't go for a swimming with my sanitary pads on, that's for sure. And one of the other reasons other than swimming or these activities would be travel. I feel tampons are very portable. You can just pack it, in your luggage, or you can just slip it in your purse or in your pocket. It's quite easy to carry, unlike a sanitary pad. I still remember our during our school times, there was this session where these sanitary pad companies would come to our schools, and they will introduce us to this world of menstruation, how it starts. And whereas only the girls are attending this, of course, and the boys are taking for their
Mm.
PE, for their
Yeah.
PE, physical training, and playing games and all that. And when we are back into the class, they are also back in the class, and they will ask, "Tumhare haath mein kya hai? What is this packet? What is this packet?" So and for us to hide that was like we were feeling really uh, how do I put it, very bad about it, or like we were not sure what was happening. How do we tell them, or do we tell them, not tell them, all that. But thinking of that time, if we were introduced to tampons, just slip it in your pocket and just walk off. Of course, now I won't feel that there is anything to hide about it. कोई nuclear weapon तो है नहीं कि हमें छुपा के लेके जाना है. But yes, still, I feel tampons have changed the way I do my travel and any kind of strenuous activities. So you don't have to worry about your pad is moving in your underwear somewhere, like, because with tampons I have found it like it is completely spotless as compared to sanitary pads. Even when you are wearing sanitary pads, I have seen that it few spotting on my underwear as well. But tampons are spotless completely. And one of the main misconceptions that I would like to clear is that it does not come in the way of you when you have to pee. Okay, so it's quite hassle free that way as well. Now, yes, of course, when you're using sanitary pads, it is quite comfortable, and also it is very good for heavy flow. All those things are okay. The tampons, on the other side, you don't know whether your tampon is full or what, and you need to keep changing it every 4 or 5 hours. Although you can keep a tampon on for a maximum of 8 hours. But yeah, so that is one of the negative things about tampon that I can think of. And also there are people who talk about this toxic shock syndrome, where and when it is left too much inside your body, and you get this there is this bacteria's form, and you get something called as toxic shock syndrome. So but I think if you are taking care of your hygiene, you should not be worried about that as well. Now, yeah, so I feel tampon has changed my life quite a bit, but I am still sticking to sanitary pads most of the times, and except for those days when I have to do activities or travels or anything, that is when I go for tampons. Um, Now I know Divya has been using a different kind of a menstrual product, which she tried convincing me quite a time, but I'm still skeptical about it. And of course, it is more or less like a tampon, the usage wise, but uh, I think I'm not yet convinced. Divya, do you want to try convincing me again?
Well, I tried to convince you, Shweta, and our other friend Preeti, but I don't think I succeeded anywhere. But thank you for sharing. Firstly, thank you for sharing all the information, guys. And from my side, here's what I have to say. So, tampons are the only things that I haven't tried actually. I have tried the cloth method, I've tried the sanitary pads, and now I've switched to menstrual cups and discs. I'll come to more details about that. Um, so yes, as Shweta mentioned, initially when I initially got my periods, right, we opted for the traditional method as per how things are passed on from generations. So I started off with cloth, but obviously I hated it. I really hated it because I never could get it right. It was unhygienic. And was not really efficient way of handling periods. So slowly I moved to sanitary pads, and yes, I felt a lot better moving from cloth to pads because one of the thing is there was less of leakage and obviously more hygienic, and you didn't have to worry about cleaning and washing stuffs, right? So I was very happy and content with the sanitary pads for a long time. And it was actually after I moved to the US that I discovered the menstrual cup. Now, for the people who don't know what a menstrual cup is, it's basically a cone-shaped small bit of cup that is inserted inside your body through vagina, and there are different it comes in different sizes depending on on your flow cycle, medium, small, and large. um, so, and obviously, if you want a bigger size, you can opt for it. And it comes in different shapes as well, not just the oval shaped. Some comes in round shapes and stuff like that. So I just stumbled upon it on a video, and I discovered this product, and I thought, why not try it? So I tried it once, and well, honestly, it's made of silicone. Most of the menstrual cups are made of silicone, and it's obviously washable and reusable. That's the whole purpose of kind of switching to menstrual cup, because it's cost efficient and hygienic as well. So when I bought it initially, I tried once. I couldn't get it right. It's not easy because a certain way to fold and insert it. I tried like a couple of times. I would say like maybe 2 months or something to get it right. So whoever is trying for the first time, I would say don't give up, because once you get it right, it's a lifesaver. So after maybe a couple of attempts, you will get it right eventually, depending on how well you know your body and stuff like that. um, I feel that most of the menstrual cups are good. They can last about 8 to 12 hours, depending on your flow. um, so the best part about it is that you forget that you have your periods on, unless you have cramps and stuff like that, which luckily is a lot better for me. I don't have as much now as I used to have before. So sometimes I forget, that I'm on my periods, because once you insert this inside your body, you don't realize the flow, and you don't have any odor. That's the best part, because I think with sanitary pads, I had this issue with odor, smelling and stinking around that area, which I don't realize. So sometimes I even forget that I'm on my periods, unless I have a little bit of pain or something. Um, and cleaning it is another challenge. Now that's the only thing that I kind of can say as a negative is you have to be comfortable with blood. So if you want to clean it, you can do it comfortably in your personal bathroom at your home. But if you're going to a public place, taking it out and cleaning and wiping it out will be a challenge. Not that it cannot be done, but it could be a challenge. That's only downside I feel to menstrual cups. Other than that, you sometimes forget that you're on your periods. So I prefer menstrual cup over anything else. As far as leaking or spotting, depending on your flow, like the second day or maybe the first day, it's possible that it might leak a little bit depending on how long you're holding it up. So I would say for the first few trials, use a sanitary napkin as a backup, like just to be extra cautious, just to understand how your body works. It'll be the best thing to do rather than just relying on the cup. And also, in addition to the cups, there's something known as menstrual discs. Now, how discs are different is they are white and like round, unlike oval shaped, which is more known as menstrual cups. So there is a slightly different method of inserting them, but both serve the same purpose. And you should just get used to handling them, basically, I would say. So from my standpoint, I think from a environmental standpoint and from a cost standpoint, I find menstrual cups more efficient and reliable. um, and if you ask me to switch to tampons, I know tampons serves the same purpose, and I believe they might be, as Bhavna mentioned, right? They might be easy to be used when you're traveling or to change in a public place. I think tampons are gonna work better than menstrual cups there. But yes, tampons are expensive as compared to any of these products, I believe. So I would still stick to my menstrual cups. And one of the things that I always think about, I discuss this with my friends too, that I wish I could buy a lot of menstrual cups and give it to the rural areas in India or anywhere, where they don't have access to sanitary pads and some are still sticking to cloths. These cups can make life so easier for them who can't afford sanitary pads or tampons. So I think that if I could, I would do that. That's one of my things in my bucket list, actually. And that's why I try to convince Shweta, Bhavna, and my other friend Preeti to use it, because I'm so like happy with this product that I want everyone to try it. So that's just a bit of my information, guys. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you do you have any questions? I know, Shweta, you're not convinced, and I'll try my best to convince you all the more.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not about convinced, but like while you were talking sometime back, I think I possibly gave up too soon after just 1 or 2 days. But like you said, I think you tried it multiple times for a few months and then got it right. I think, but I really agree with your point that it's really cheap option. And if we want to do something to help people out, I think that would be a great idea, and I would definitely love to join you. But yeah, before that, I would also go back and try to make sure I feel comfortable using menstrual cups so that I can share it, and then we together, all of us, can do something to give back to the society.
I
But
know, I agree with
yeah.
Shweta on that. Like, why would a person who just it's so easy to stick a sanitary pad on your underwear and move around, but you would like to insert something into your vagina? You like
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
and change the complete idea of this. So how comfortable a person is, not sure, not really sure how they could start off with.
That's a very good point, because you know what, young girls might find it a little difficult. Um,
Mhm.
because if because you're not you're comfortable with your body yet, right? That could be the challenge. But the best part for me, Bhavna, more than changing or anything, is that I used to when I used to be on cloth or on pads, I used to hate the sensation of the flow. Like if I get up from a place, or say I'm lying on the bed, I have to get up. You feel the gush of blood coming out, right? You feel
Right,
that. I used to
right.
hate that feeling because that used to make me very uncomfortable. So, but with the menstrual cup, that's the best thing. You don't realize what is coming in or what is coming out. You don't realize anything. And that just made me so carefree that I could
Yeah.
focus on the things that I am doing. So that's just my thought. I mean, I'm not trying to convince guys, but I'm just saying that these are the things that made me feel better, you know.
I think as you said that you should be comfortable with blood. I don't know. I think I'm not yet there. Like in the liquid form, it's fine. But if I see it is liquid form, I'm not very fine with it. With
Yeah,
cleaning it, or
yeah,
if you are like how I said, when we travel or when we are doing some kind of an activities, I don't know how that's gonna be, because if you are in a different place, not in your house, I think I'll be
yes.
more uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah, you're
And
right, actually.
Divya, I want to ask, how often do you clean, or how many pieces of this product you have?
No, actually, there is just one that is required because you clean it
Mhm,
regularly, right? But I do
mhm,
have two or three of them just because I was trying initially,
mhm,
experimenting with
mhm.
stuffs.
Okay.
But how often do I clean is because since I go to work, I don't really clean for like 8 hours
Okay.
at a stretch. Yeah, I come home and I change it. I don't
Oh,
really do it at work because I don't feel the need to do that.
okay. Okay. So you're saying that for 8 years you are good without any issues.
8 hours, not
Eight
years. Oh
hours.
my God, wow. I know it's 6 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah, exactly. It's still not morning yet. Yeah. So for 8 hours you're completely fine without any change or.
Yeah, on the heaviest day, yes, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
nice.
that's great.
yeah. But as I said, you have to be comfortable because sometimes first initially, I what I realized is you think the cup has been inserted well, but it's not, and then it leaks, and then you realize, oh, it's not gone well. You require practice to know how to insert it and to
Right.
to understand your body. But once you get it right, then you're good.
I'm sure the usage of tampons and menstrual cups won't be that different. But yes,
Yeah,
only the idea of cleaning it is what bothers me. Of course,
correct.
we all can be a bit kind to the nature, but I don't feel to be that kind right now. I can't be that kind as of yet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. I get your point, but because since you've used tampons, you can't
Mhm.
because it's so comfortable, right, and easy to
Right.
change. You find it difficult to switch to something where
Also,
you have to handle.
also, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying where you don't want to switch to something which is difficult to change
Right.
when you're traveling or commuting, right?
Right, and also the disposable part of it, like sanitary pads. Of course, you can roll it and put it in the dustbin. Same for tampons, even smaller, disposable. But
Hmm,
uh, when it comes to cups, you really have to plan things out.
correct. That's right.
And
That's right.
Divya, how often do you sterilize your cups?
Every month, that's what I do. I don't do it
That's it.
every
Okay,
day.
so
Yeah,
after every cycle, you mean,
yeah, every
or
cycle. Yeah, that's
after
right.
every cycle?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So you
yeah.
don't sterilize it every day or after
No,
every.
no, I don't think that. Firstly, I don't have the time to sterilize it every day, but every month is what I do
Okay,
after every
okay,
use.
okay,
Yeah, every monthly
okay,
cycle. Yeah.
okay.
So, Shweta, I think you're pretty much convinced now to switch.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
guys
I was
remember
just
the
thinking.
gift I was talking about sending you guys? I'm sending Sweta a menstrual cup.
No, don't
No,
do
I
that because
already
the one
have
I
that.
gifted her is with her. She has not
Oh, it's still
unpacked it.
there. Oh, it's still there. Okay.
Yeah, I still have it. Like I said, I have not used it much, but I think after this talk, I'm definitely going to try that. And I think that's more than the difficulty of using it. I think it's possibly in our minds. I think at least I am just starting to think that I know how I'm going to fold it, how I'm going to insert it, how will it feel. I think those are roadblocks which are there in the head more than possibly the usage of it. And I think it was great listening to both of you and getting thoughts on different products that I can also start using possibly, and I'm sure it would help our users as well. And to be honest, I really feel it was great that we picked up this topic. Initially, I think maybe all of us might have had some thoughts around should we, should not, what should we talk and things like that. But I think it really was quite normal the way all of us try to explain how we have gone through our cycles and what we use and the pros and cons of it. And I think this is really important that people talk about such topics and make it very normal, so that it's just seen normal and not something very different. And girls of this generation feels comfortable with themselves and what's happening to them.
Yeah,
So
we bleed, we are warriors.
yes. So I think with that, let's wrap up for today. And thanks, listeners, and keep talking to your buddies, because you never know what interesting topics you would have to talk to your buddies. But I really love talking to my buddies. And thanks, Devya and Bhavna, for being there.
Thank
With
you.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, with
Thank
that,
you. Bye
signing off for
bye.
now. Bye.
Bye bye.